Calypso later told me of this exchange, as she declared that Hermes had told her. Well, when I reached the sea cave and the ship, I faced each man and had it out. But where could any remedy be found? There was none. The silken beeves of Helios were dead. The gods, moreover, had made queer signs appear. Cowhides began to crawl, and beef both raw and roasted lowed like kine upon the spits. Now 6 full days my gallant crew could feast upon the prime beef they marked for slaughter from Helios' herd, and Zeus, son of Cronos, added one fine morning. All the gales had ceased, blown out, and with an offshore breeze we launched again, stepping mast and sail, to make for the open sea. Astern of us, the island coastline faded, and no land showed anywhere, but only sea and heaven, when Zeus, Cronion, piled a thunderhead above ship. While gloom spread on the ocean, we held our course but briefly. Then the squall struck. Whining from the west, with gale force breaking both forestays, the mast came toppling aft along the ship's length, so the running rigging showered into the bilge. On the afterdeck, the mast had hit the steersman a slant blow, bashing the skull in, knocking him overside, as the brave soul fled the body like a diver. With crack on crack of thunder, Zeus let fly a bolt against the ship, a direct hit, so that she bucked in reeking fumes of sulfur, and all the men were flung into the sea. They came up around the wreck, bobbing awhile like petrels on the waves. No more seafaring homeward for these, no sweet day of return. The god had turned his face from them. I clamored fore and aft my hulk until a comber split her, keel from ribs, and the big timber floated free. The mast, too, broke away. A backstay floated dangling from it, stout rawhide rope, and I used this for lashing mast and keel together. These I straddled, riding the frightful storm. Nor had I yet seen the worst of it, for now the west wind dropped and a southeast gale came on. One more twist of the knife, taking me north again, straight for Charybdis. All that night I drifted, and in the sunrise, sure enough, I lay off Scylla mountain and Charybdis deep. There, as the whirlpool drank the tide, a billow tossed me, and I sprang for the great fig tree, catching on like a bat under a bough. Nowhere had I to stand, no way of climbing the root and bole, being far below and far above my head, the branches and their leaves massed, overshadowing Charybdis's pool. But I clung grimly, thinking my mast and keel would come back to the surface when she spouted, and how long, with what desire I waited, till, at the twilight hour, when one hears and judges plea in the marketplace, all day being between contentious men, goes home to supper, the long poles, at last, reared from the sea. Now I let go with hands and feet, plunging straight into the foam beside the timbers, pulled astride, and rowed hard with my hands to pass Scylla. Never could I have passed her had not the Father of gods and men this time kept me from her eyes. Once through the strait, 9 days I drifted in the open sea before I made shore, buoyed up by the gods upon Aegaea Isle. The dangerous nymph Calypso lives and sings there in her beauty, and she received me, loved me. But why tell the same tale that I told last night in the hall to you and your lady? Those adventures made a long evening, and I do not hold with tiresome repetition of a story.